Hello everyone, welcome back to Vines and Branches again. So while you watch this video, do follow my page and do subscribe my channel on YouTube. So today we have a friend of mine who is super strong, bold, and I believe she's a woman of voice. So she's going to tell her story and how being a woman is to her and how it has evolved her in recent times. So let's see her. Come on, Sushmitha.
Hello, hi, Sushmitha Almuri.
How are
Thank you
you?
so much, Neha, for having me here on this podcast kind of thing, and I'm super excited to share my views on whatever she pops at me.
I have a
And
lot of questions to pop at her because she really talks well and she's good at it.
no, she's the one who talks well.
Okay. So, can you just briefly introduce yourself more? Like,
Sure.
what do you study and your hobbies? Or briefly, like.
Done. So I'm repeating my name. This is Sushmitha Almuri. I am from India, Andhra Pradesh, and I have finished my bachelor's in biomedical engineering, and after a long period of taking too many long terms, and then I have started working. Like I worked as an assistant engineer, and then in the research and development department. And then one day I realized maybe I need to have more knowledge in the field that I'm putting my work in. Like whatever I have gained through my bachelor's is not sufficient for me to do some effective work. So I can just follow the rules, but I am not able to do work that impacts the society. So in order to reach that, I thought I need some more knowledge. I'm not right to the field which I'm working in. So that's what pushed me to pursue the master's in public health degree over here. And well, I'm fortunate to meet my dear friend Neha over here. So that's kind of my backstory for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much for that. So, I wanted to ask you, like, I know, I mean, we both are in the same class, so I see you talking very bold. Like, when it comes to debates or any issues you want to talk, you are really bold. I believe that you are a woman with voice. So, I want to ask you what being a woman means to you and how you have evolved as a woman in your recent times. Like, what shaped you and what is it to you?
Right. So that's a great question. Being a woman means to me is something that okay, I have realized in the very recent years, because since I was a child, I was told that you're a girl, you're supposed to behave in this way. But I was fortunate enough that my parents let me to speak up whenever I was aware of the situation and I know what to speak, and my words really mattered. At that point of time, my parents actually pushed me to put my word over there. So that's how I started speaking a lot, and the way I am talking right now, or the way I learn things, because I faced a lot of criticism. And during my school days, I used to get kind of bullied for that, and also after my education, like after the schooling and the intermediate, or after that during my bachelor's, I had a whole circle of friends who were not entirely from the region I was from. Let's say not entirely from Telugu, from the north, up north, or from the south, the neighboring states. And I had to put my opinions in front of them to uh, you know to merge in their circle. you know that's what, we are all together. So that's how I learned to speak a lot. And after that, I was put down by some external forces, or some situations happened in my life, and I went calm, and I was whatever you're witnessing right now, Sushmitha.
Yeah.
This is not me. And so I, due to some external forces, yeah, I changed my behavior, I changed my attitude. I sort of felt like, being a woman, no matter how good you speak, how well you present yourself,
Yeah,
there are still some people who would point the fingers at you.
true.
And that really brought me down at certain point in my
Especially
life.
when it comes to women, there are always people who point you out.
Right, right. Patriarchy always wins,
Yeah.
right? So I was tired of fighting for, you know what, this is not how it's supposed
Yeah.
to be. You know what, this is not right for us. And people used to look at me like, here comes the fake feminist and all, she's all this and all. For a certain point of time, I didn't let those words impact me. But later on, I'm just a human.
Yeah.
And yes, they impacted me.
We all get
And
influenced at some point of time.
right,
Yeah.
right. People from my close circle would talk about me behind my back, like, you know, don't mess with her. Like, she talks a lot. Like, she'll just ruin you with her words or something like that. But if I have to be honest, I just speak truth.
True.
People get hurt. I mean, I didn't mean in a rude way, but that's that's the life of a woman. No matter if you say right, no matter if you say wrong, you'll
Yeah.
still be in the wrong section.
True. So, I mean, I can just point out two things from you. You said there was a lot of criticism for you, right?
Right.
So I know you took it in a positive way and you tried to change yourself, and now you've become a woman of voice, like how I told initially. But it must have been a really difficult journey for you to become the person who you are today, right?
Absolutely.
It has been. So while coming to other girls in our class or in the society we see, what do you feel about them? Like, I see many girls who want to talk but they cannot talk.
Right, right.
They don't have a voice. So
Right.
what do you want to tell them, or what kind of thing is that you want to talk about? Do you think they have to be extra brave, or do you think it generally comes from the birth?
No, nothing comes from the birth. I don't support that thing. It all depends on how our parents nurture us, how we nurture ourselves into to stand on our feet. And there is nothing such thing as right or wrong. It's just how you approach a situation. So there are certain people from our gender who are not that talkative, who are not that adamant on their opinions, who stand on what they support for. But you know what? After several years communicating with women, you would never be like, I used to uplift women, like, you don't have to accept all these, you just speak up, you just speak up. I used to say that to my friends. In return, I was the one who got blamed at the end. So I slowed down and I observed how does their thoughts process, and I understood no matter what you say, they're going to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
Right.
That happens, yeah.
Right. So how I changed my tone of voice, I changed the way I make the matter reach to them. So I do not point at them. So when let's imagine you're in a tough situation and I don't want you to face that.
Yeah.
When I come to you and I say, you know what, Neha, you can't do that. You know what, you just listen to yourself. You just speak up. You can't.
I'm gonna listen to you and be like, okay, but then I'll do what I want to do
Yeah.
with that.
Indirectly, unknowingly, that you, which I'm
Yeah.
pointing at you, impacts you.
True.
If I'm talking to you, you know what, there has been situation like this here, and I was so scared. If I'm putting myself in your shoes and I'm explaining this situation that I reacted in that way and it worked out in favor for me, you would consider that.
True.
Right?
I agree, yeah.
Right. So that's how I started approaching
But
women.
yeah,
who
but
face
you
that.
said women uplift. Like, I mean, it's very nice that you uplifted many women to be like, speak up. That's because even I do that at times. But do you really think women uplift women? I mean,
Absolutely.
do you think?
Absolutely.
Because we are in a generation where I see many people talking that I don't think so. Women uplift women. It's always the other people, men or some other strangers or someone else. But women don't like to see progress in another woman. So what do you think about it?
First of all, I'm glad that you're witnessing men uplifting
Yeah.
women, which is great, which is really great. Maybe in my circle, I didn't get to witness that a lot.
No, there are women who uplift women, but generally when people talk outside, this is what I heard from a lot of my friends telling that
Yeah.
women are ఆ అమ్మాయికి నచ్చదు నేను ఎదగడం నచ్చదు అరే ఆ అమ్మాయికి నేను ఇలా ఉంటే నచ్చదు. So that's what we generally hear. So what do you want to talk about it?
It's all about the circle you choose.
True.
మనం ఎలా ఉంటామో మన ఎదుటోళ్ళు కూడా మనతో అలాగే
Exactly. It's a
ఉంటారు.
reflection.
రైట్. సో దేర్ ఇస్ నో సచ్ థింగ్ యాజ్ జెలసీ ఉంటుంది. ఏదో పాయింట్లో నువ్వు కూడా చూపించుంటావు జెలసీ. లేదు నేను అసలు చూపించలేదు, ఐఎమ్ వెరీ ట్రూ, ఐఎమ్ వెరీ ఫ్రీ స్పిరిటెడ్ అంటే జస్ట్ బ్రేక్ దట్
Exactly.
ఫ్రెండ్షిప్. If you know that you didn't do it, break it up. You do, we do not have to drag friendships that don't value us.
True. It's better to be alone than to have those kind of friends around.
Exactly. Only have 2 or 3 people. If even if you have 10 people who really love you, it's amazing. Like I'm really happy for you.
True.
Do not keep your circle huge because you don't know who would bite back at you.
Perfect. Yeah.
You can, if you have the courage to take it. Not everybody has the courage to handle that.
Yeah.
So it's completely opinionated.
It's nice, but the best part I heard today is you uplifting other women, because when I keep doing that, people tell me, "Induk chestunavu allu vinaru," and ippatike I keep doing that. Like I'm like, "No baadhapadana, don't do. You speak out. You do it. Do this. Do that." I keep telling it, but it's nice to hear the same from you as well. I mean,
Right.
it makes me feel that we are on the same page.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you one thing. So another thing is, when it comes to women, బయట చాలా మాట్లాడుకుంటారు, and it's always like, అరే నీకు ఒక విషయం నచ్చలేదు అనుకో, నువ్వు నచ్చలేదని డైరెక్ట్గా చెప్పేక అన్న స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్కువ అమ్మాయిలకే వస్తుంది. దే ఆర్ లైక్, డోంట్ టెల్ అ నో కంప్లీట్లీ, జస్ట్ ట్రై టు మాడిఫై ద నో. అరే నాకు ఇప్పుడు అవ్వదు, లేదా ఇలా చెయ్యి, అలా వద్దు, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దాట్. డూ యూ రియల్లీ థింక్ అ ఉమెన్ హ్యాస్ టు సే అ నో, ఆర్ షీ హ్యాస్ టు కన్వే నో ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ అదర్ వేస్?
So there are certain situations, to answer your question. There can be a formal situation, there can be an informal situation. So if you're close to that person, then you may say no.
Yeah.
You know what, I can't do it. If it's in a formal situation, instead of saying no, if the person is elder to you, despite the gender, elder to you, with respect, we do not say no. In our households also it's that way. మనం ఎట్లా అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా లేదండి అవదండి అని చెప్పం.
అలా చెప్పొద్దని కూడా అంటారు మనకి.
బట్ ఐ ట్రై నెక్స్ట్ టైం షూర్. దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ వి అఫర్మ్ దెమ్.
యా, I mean, no, I mean, ఎలా అంటే, like, different people are brought up in a different way. So I agree. There are few people I see that, like, పాపం చెప్పలేరు. కొంతమంది ఏంటంటే చెప్పేస్తారు ముఖం మీద, కొట్టినట్టు ఉంటుంది కొంతమంది. సో ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్. బట్ వాట్ యూ థింక్, ఉమెన్ నో చెప్తే నో డైరెక్ట్ గా చెప్పచ్చు, ఆ ఫ్రీడమ్ తనకు ఉంది అంటావా, లేకపోతే ఇట్స్ లైక్ టెల్ ఇట్ ఇన్ అ డిఫరెంట్ వే అని?
We all have freedom.
Yeah.
Be it a woman, be it a man. When a man can say no, a woman can say no too.
Exactly. This is something people don't understand. They are like, అబ్బాయికి ఇచ్చే ఫ్రీడమ్ అమ్మాయికి ఇవ్వరు. అది నేను అంటున్నాను. దే ఆర్ లైక్, నువ్వు ఎందుకు డైరెక్ట్ గా నువ్వు చెప్పేస్తున్నావు, అలా చెప్పక, ఆడ అబ్బాయి చెప్తాడు, నువ్వు చెప్పక. సో దాని మీద what do you want to talk? I mean, did you see such people?
Yeah, maybe. And I laugh it off. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I laugh it off.
Yeah.
Because an animal, ఒక కుక్క కూడా దానికి వద్దు నాకు ఫుడ్ అంటే వద్దని చెప్పి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
అంతే.
మోగదైనా సరే.
అంతే.
మన మనుషులం, మనకి మాట్లాడే వరం ఇచ్చాడు దేవుడు. సో ఎవ్రీబడి హ్యాస్ ద లిబర్టీ టు సే వాట్ దే వాంట్. ఇట్స్ ఆన్ ద అదర్ పర్సన్ హూ టేక్స్ ఇట్ ఇన్ అ పాజిటివ్ వే ఆర్ నెగటివ్ వే. నేను చెప్తాను నాకు వద్దంటే నాకు వద్దు, అంతే. I'll be, that's right. But be clear about what you want. Communicate. You do not confuse people. You do not put other people at a spot. Just be clear on your
exactly.
behalf. That's it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So being a woman, who is that one woman who inspires you a lot? Like, you've learned so much from her. It can be anyone. నేను ఇలా ఉండాలి, ఇలా నాకు నచ్చింది, చాలా నేర్చుకున్నాను అని.
Initially I would have said obviously my mother.
Yeah.
My mother. But tanala undali kanna, that's how she molded me. She molded me as her idol.
Nice.
Right? So she always idolized something and she molded me to become that idol. So it's reverse in my case. Yeah, so
That's
she's
nice.
really proud of me and I'm really proud of her. But
so you're telling that she always showed you some idol and she wanted to be like that?
No, she just told me.
Oh, she just told you.
Just told me.
Nice.
She just told me, you know what? If you want to get this, you're going to do this. There is certain way you speak to others. She always trained me in these things. And now we uplift each other. Like if she's going through something, I tell her. And she's so proud, like, okay, you make sense. She listens to me. She actually listens to me. So when I assessed about this, it's not like, because our mothers in India, they, our parent generation, not everybody works, has a profession. So usually they're homemaking and stuff. But so according in nowadays, if we want to define that if this person is my idol, they has to be at a certain range or authority to consider them as our idol. But as I'm mentioning, my mother, she's a homemaker. She has certain talents. She's artistic, and she took care of us. So, idol, yes, she's an idol because she mentored me
Yeah.
to becoming in what I am today. Apart from that, not only one woman that I idolize, there are many women who spoke. Who spoke.
True.
I really love people who speak up,
Yeah. You have to speak up for yourself. If not, you who is gonna speak up for you?
and that should make sense.
Yeah.
And that should make
Perfect,
sense.
yeah.
I really love women who speaks that makes sense, and you immediately get influenced. You know what? She's speaking the truth.
True.
And I believe, I'm telling you this, I didn't want to tell this earlier. You will become a great spokesperson. I'm telling you. She has the voice for it, she has the
Yeah.
guts for it, she has so much confidence, which I
Thank
wish
you.
I
Thank you
had.
so much. I mean, it's nice. That's the reason I'm seeing you and talking because, I mean, this is a podcast, but I wanted to ask this topic in particular only with you because I have always seen that in you because we've been in 2 to 3 classes and
Right.
I know you. So I wanted to ask this topic only to you because you will be knowing it better, I felt.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see that. The
Thanks
way you're
for
telling is
identifying
really
that.
nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
సో చాలాసార్లు మన లైఫ్లో ఏంటంటే ఇట్స్ లైక్ అరే వీళ్ళు నా బౌండరీస్ చెక్ చేస్తున్నారు టెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు చాలా దాటేస్తున్నాడు అని మనకి వీల్ గెట్ హై ఆన్ ఇట్ సో అలాంటి టైం అప్పుడు వాజ్ దర్ ఎనీ టైమ్ వేర్ యూ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అండ్ యువర్ బౌండరీస్ లైక్ నేను లేదు ఇలా ఉంటే లూజ్ అయిపోతాం లేదు ఇంకా బౌండరీస్ టైట్ చేయాలి ఐ హావ్ టు స్ట్రెంగ్త్ దిస్ వీళ్ళకి ఛాన్స్ ఇవ్వకూడదు అని అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ ఏమైనా నీ లైఫ్లో వచ్చిందా క్రాసింగ్ దేర్ లిమిట్స్ టూ మచ్ లాగా
Are you especially speaking about friends or
anyone
men or anything?
men, I mean men, it can be men, it can be friends, anyone.
Okay.
అంటే జనరలీ అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్ అందరికీ ఉంటాయి
Right,
కొంతమంది స్ట్రెంగ్ చేసుకోలేరు ఇంకా దే గెట్ కాంప్రమైజ్ టు ఇట్ దే ఆర్ లైక్ దే లెట్ అదర్ పీపుల్ ఇన్వేడ్ యువర్ ప్రైవేట్ స్పేస్ అండ్ బౌండరీస్
Right.
బట్ women who have voice they don't do that so I want to
Right.
ask you how did you face that
Okay. Great question. So, it's I like this is something I completely believe in. If you set up a boundary for yourself, just stick to that.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to move it for others.
True.
If they're coming over there, let them know. You know what? This is the line I have drawn for you. I'm sorry, I will not be comfortable. There's a tone for everything. I'm telling you, there's a tone for
Sure.
everything. There's a tone. I'm not comfortable talking to you about that. Please don't do that next time.
Yeah, sure.
90% of the people who have senses, who are not mentally
They'll work on
abnormal,
it.
they will
Get it.
respond positively to that.
But do you want to tell any incident that happened, like in brief, you did not take out names, but in brief, you want to tell incident like where you felt really bad because someone was invading your boundary and later on you changed yourself by strengthening it. I mean, that might help the audience, that's why. I mean, it's not
Alright,
mandatory, but if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, there are many such situations, and yeah, when we are in a group setting, we talk to each other, and we usually go on informal terms, and we get సరదాగా జోక్లు వేసుకుంటా మాట్లాడుకుంటాం కదా అలాంటి టైంలో పీపుల్ ఆఫెన్
Yeah, that happens.
overstep. So that happened to me during a friend's gathering, and అందరూ జోక్లు వేసుకుంటున్నాం అందరూ నవ్వుకుంటున్నాము that person was also enjoying it, and something abruptly happened from his end, and I was shocked. I do not want to take the
Yeah.
names, and I do not want to say
No,
what
yeah,
happened.
no, that's completely
But yeah, I was shocked. Like, how dare you? How dare you do that to me or say that to me? And I just cut it off with him. I immediately నించొని నేను వెంటనే రూమ్కి వెళ్ళిపోయాను అనమాట వెళ్ళిపోయి అక్కడ దేర్ ఆర్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ అదర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఆల్సో సో హీ వాస్ ఇన్ అ స్ప్లిట్ సెకండ్ after his action, in a split second, when I immediately stood and walked off, and my friends followed me, he immediately ran behind me saying, sorry.
Yeah, perfect. He understood it because your tone was very clear.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's nice.
I was shocked at the fact that in a second, how did he realize his mistake?
Yeah. Your tone was really clear. You clearly told him that this is my boundary. Don't do it again.
Right. And he tried to say sorry to me and all, but my friends were all there. He's not even a close friend of mine. He's a friend of friend. That's it.
Yeah.
And if he had that audacity to do that to me, I don't know what factors influenced him. So I immediately shut myself from him. He was coming back like, please, I'm sorry, I didn't think of it and all. I said, no, no, I do not want to talk to you.
It actually happens, right? When women tend to be really close or something, people take it for granted sometimes. Because
right.
same instant did happen to me when I was in my first year.
Yeah.
First year when I was going to a class, I had a group of friends. Same thing. I don't want to take the names, but yeah. So the same thing happened. He doesn't know me. I don't know him either. We are not close friends. We are just batchmates.
Okay.
And it's the first time. So all of a sudden he was like, I mean, he was kidding. I know people come from different backgrounds.
Right.
But what I believe is when you are in a platform like US, in a diverse culture, you need to mold yourself so that you are acceptable to everyone.
Right.
You can't be like, okay, నేను సో అండ్ సో ప్లేస్ నుంచి వచ్చా బై నేను ఇలాగే ఉంటాను అంటే ఇట్ డజంట్ హ్యాపెన్ సో ఐ మీన్ హీ యూజ్ సమ్ టర్మ్స్ విచ్ వర్ నాట్ అప్రోప్రియేట్ సో రైట్ అవే ఐ టోల్డ్ హిమ్ షట్ అప్ you can't talk to me like this. Later on he did not tell us sorry, let it be, but he was so offended by my shut up. He told everyone that Neha told me shut up, Neha ila. I'm like, bro, what did you tell me? You tried to invade my space which I did not give permission to you.
Right.
So this usually happens, I believe, when women tend to be closer a little, or they take it for granted.
We don't tend to be closer. We just release our boundaries a little.
True.
And people think, now I can invade that
Exactly.
space.
That's nice. I mean, that's nice to know about all of these. So there's one more question I wanted to ask. I mean, this is the last question. So
Okay.
We see a lot of channels and everywhere people talk about women. Nowadays, everyone has the audacity to talk about women. They're like,
Right.
Tanilaga, Valila, Vilila. I'm not supporting women.
Right.
I mean, it's the same with men, Anukundam. But
Right.
being a woman, I want to talk about women.
Right.
So it's like, for example, I'm not getting into the issue, but for example, let us take rapes avvachu, teasing avvachu, kidnaps avvachu, even avvachu. People always tend to judge women based on their talks, behaviors, their clothing.
Right.
So what do you want to talk about it? I mean, are you accepting the fact that people judge you based on these things, or I think they should grow up and they have to judge based on other factors?
I will never accept it. Even if there's a knife to my throat, I will never accept it. Because only as a women we know how scared we be, even if now it's past 9.
I know.
And we're supposed to go home, and you don't know how scared I am. Every moment, from the time I step in the bus and the time I reach my house, I'm scared. So as you are.
Yeah.
So another person cannot tell us, you know what, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have gone out at this time.
Yeah.
There are responsibilities for everyone.
True.
I used to speak about it. I used to say, hey, how can they judge people? అరే అమ్మాయిలు ఎందుకు అంటారు బట్టలు ఇలా వేసుకుంది బట్టలు అలా వేసుకుందని అంటే వేసుకుంటే ఇంక అంతేనా లైక్
అంతే దే థింక్ అంతేనా ఇంకేం లేదా ఇంకా దట్స్ వాట్
అంటే నువ్వు విక్టిమ్ బ్లేమింగ్ చేస్తున్నావు లైక్ డూ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ దాట్
Yeah.
డూ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ యూర్ బ్లేమింగ్ అ విక్టిమ్ అండ్ వాట్ డస్ అ 3-month-old baby do to capture his attention? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, this is one thing even I am curious to know. తను బట్టలు లేవు. I mean తను వేసుకోలేదు. I mean how are you judging her? Nothing.
At this point, not every men are good, just like us women are.
Yeah.
There is good and bad people on either side of the spectrum.
Assumptions, yeah.
Right. So there are certain men that are becoming wild animals. I mean, even wild animals has some sympathy or whatever you can gain from it during the situations. Like, but the most dangerous animals, if we have to rank them, certain percentage of men come into that category. You can just what
Yeah.
I have told about the 3-month-old rape case. He comes under that category.
True.
Many other such people.
Yeah, I keep seeing aunties talking or anyone talking. They're like, "Amma బట్టలు వేసుకుంది, so that's not right." But when it comes to men, they're like, వేసుకుంటాడు తన అబ్బాయి.
Right.
So I feel this is not okay. But I just wanted to ask how. I mean, is it like we both are on the same page? I just wanted to know.
Yes, yes, we are. Slowly, I'm losing hope in talking about it, because no matter how many times you say, "Are అమ్మాయి వల్ల ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం అంటే నోబడీ హ్యాస్ అన్ ఆన్సర్. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ క్వశ్చన్ దే బ్లేమ్ యూ.
Yeah.
మాట్లాడావు తొక్కలో ఫెమినిస్ట్, ఆన్సర్ చేయి నువ్వు అన్న క్యాండిడేట్స్ ఉన్నారు.
Yeah.
మీ క్వశ్చన్కి నా ఆన్సర్ రాదు. సో నో మ్యాటర్ హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ యూ పుట్ యువర్ క్వశ్చన్ టు చెప్పు నాకు ఎందుకు నువ్వు అమ్మాయిలు ఎందుకు అంటున్నావు అని చెప్పినా వాళ్ళు నేను బ్లేమ్ చేస్తారు తప్ప నీకు ఆన్సర్ ఉండదు. బికాస్ ఇట్స్ సంథింగ్ బియాండ్ వన్స్ థింకింగ్ అనమాట. అదేంటంటే ఒక డీప్ రూటెడ్ ఫీలింగ్ అనుకుందాం దట్ యు నో వాట్ మా వాళ్ళు ఎట్లా అన్నారు నేను ఎట్లా
I think that will never change until unless మా వాళ్ళు చేంజ్ అయితే తప్ప. Because when they change, these people change.
రైట్.
Yeah.
And that is not going to change.
It's the same
No.
everywhere.
And I wanted to address this one thing. You observe this thing in reels and all. This is the last generation of innocent mothers comments,
Yeah.
right?
I see that.
How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I mean, I just see the reel and I'm like, it's another thing on women. So I'm like, okay, let it be. So
Yeah.
I don't have a view on that. So I want to listen what you want to tell about it.
So, yeah. At first, I used to like that comment. I used
Yeah,
to,
I used to like
actually,
it
it's the
too.
last generation of innocent mothers. And later, after few days, I got a little furious on, why are they mentioning this only thing for every reel which has mothers not knowing what's happening?
That's
currently?
because they're changing the innocent woman into something else.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I sat for some time and I thought like, why are they doing this? And how is it only that generation is innocent? See, innocent is something that they didn't do that thing,
Yeah.
right? Completely different relating it to this subject. We will be innocent mothers in the next generation. You know what? Yes, because when our mothers were there, the technology was not that advanced.
Yeah.
Now it's advanced. They don't know how to use it. And we
Perfect.
tell them that's why they're innocent.
Yeah.
They don't know how to react to certain things. That's why they're innocent. The next generation will come on and they'll have certain other technologies or certain other terms that we are not aware of, and they will consider us innocent mothers.
Perfect. I
So,
agree with
yeah,
this.
if you want to say that your mother is innocent, you can say that your mother is innocent. But you cannot say the women who are your age or in the current generation are not innocent. It's not up to you.
Yeah.
Only talk for yourself.
Perfect. So now we are in US, right? So in India, we've come from India all the way. So you must have seen a lot of things happening with women and how women are and how people deal with women in India. And also you must have seen in US, it's been 1 year.
Right.
So how do you want to compare or tell the major difference between India and US when it comes to dealing with women?
Obviously,
I mean,
it's a
how
lot
the
different.
society treats women or deals women with women in India and US.
It's a lot different. But the common factor I have observed is maybe I was a little fortunate to have witnessed some great men. So I used to do a night shift and all back in India. So they were really awesome men
Great.
who stood in
Fortunate, yeah.
in support for me. So even here, when I get in the bus, even I'm the one alone traveling, the bus driver makes me feel so comfortable. So in that case, there is not much difference.
What about the perceptions, like society's views and perceptions on women in India and US? Do you think it has broadened in US or is it still narrow, or how is it in India and US?
It's getting better.
Better.
It's getting better. But
In
there-
India or in US?
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And we are the I strongly believe that we are the generation who are ought to make a difference.
Yes.
We cannot let my father doesn't say agree this to this, or my mother doesn't like, or my teacher doesn't do it. They are not the generation that is going forward. We are the generation we are going forward.
Yeah.
We have to make changes. We have to adapt
True.
to the changes that we are making and set an example.
We need to be ourselves. Yeah. Just like how you mentioned, draw a boundary and just be yourself.
Do not blame others. Do your part and wait. It will happen automatically.
Perfect. I had an amazing time
Right.
interviewing
Thank you.
I think we did great.
I think so too. I'm sorry if I blabbered something else, but I do not mean in any other intention to any
You were
gender.
good. You were good.
Any
Yeah.
gender. I respect
We
men.
are not
I respect
against
women.
men or anything. We respect both women and men.
Right.
But being women, we wanted to talk about women. It's a woman to
Right.
woman talk.
Right, right.
Yeah. So
Right.
how did you feel the interview was?
Wow. You actually made me come out of my bubble. Yeah. And speak a lot, which I don't usually do. So I have
You
so much
do, but
adrenaline
you
rush
don't
today.
usually do it outside because you are not free doing it. Maybe you felt
Right.
comfortable here.
Right.
That's the thing.
That-
But you have a
that's
lot
one
of
thing,
potential
yes.
to talk.
That's right.
I
So not
admire
everybody
that.
gets to me. So you got me, and I was super excited when she came out with the concept that we are going to do about this. I was like, let's do it because I want to talk about women since a long time, and I didn't have the courage and confidence to talk, but right now I feel comfortable with
But
her.
that's really great because I want to tell one thing. Recently, I did ask a woman about this interview, not exactly the same topic, but I wanted to interview her. But she was not okay with it. She was scared. She told me, "Arey na valla vadra nak bayam ra adi idi." అరే రెండు ముక్కలేరా జస్ట్ నార్మల్ ఏం టాపిక్లే నార్మల్ యూఎస్ లైఫ్ అది చెప్పు ఐ ట్రై టు గెట్ హర్ అవుట్ ఫ్రమ్ హర్ బబుల్ బట్ షీ వాజ్ నాట్ ఓకే సో ఐ మీన్ అలాగా ఉన్నారు ఉమెన్ బట్ ఇలాగా ఉన్నారు
Right.
సో ఇట్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ నైస్ టు
Right.
హ్యావ్ దిస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ విత్ యూ బికాస్ యూ
Right.
వేర్ బ్రేవ్ యూ టోల్డ్ మెనీ థింగ్స్
you.
ఇన్ అ వెరీ బోల్డ్ వే బికాస్ ఈ మాత్రం కంటెంట్ అందరూ చెప్పరు ఇలా
Right.
కూడా చాలా మంది చెప్పడానికి భయపడతారు ఐ డోంట్ నో వై బట్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
Thank
ఇట్
you.
వాజ్ రియలీ గ్రేట్ హ్యావింగ్ యూ ఆన్ బోర్డ్
I feel so happy. Thank you for having me and
Yeah.
making me speak a lot. I'm
So while you're watching this video, do follow my page
follow.
and do subscribe my channel on
subscribe,
YouTube.
please.
Bye bye.
Bye.